Thank you, Mr. President. And now we open the floor to some questions from the media, starting with Alan Francisco of PTV4.
Hi, Mr. President, everyone.
afternoon.
Magandang hapon po. Yeah. Sir, why change horses in midstream? Ano po sa palagay ninyo yung mga offer ni Secretary Recto sa table sa pangalawang taon po ninyo sa pwesto bilang Pangulo ng Bansa?
We are not changing horses in midstream. We are continuing the policies that we had laid out from the beginning. It would be, I would think, poor judgment on our part, having seen the effects of the changes in policy, the changes in structure, as you would say, to change them in the middle of our progress, and we are making such good progress. But it was just time for Secretary Ben Jokno. He felt that it was time for him to return to his natural habitat, if you will, in the Bangko Central and in the Monetary Board. In terms of what Secretary Ralph has to offer, I think there is no need to enumerate that. His experience as NEDA head and his experience in the legislature. I really, what I said very quickly in my statement is that he has always been the lead, shall we say, analyst when it comes to the budget. When we were together in the Senate, and I know that he's doing the same job in the House. So it is something that we know. We have seen him perform, and it is something. He has a true understanding of the economy. He has a true understanding of how the Philippine economy works, and I think that is the quality that he will bring to this. And we have so many new ideas and new commitments that we have taken on so that for the improvement of the economy. And I think that Secretary Ralph will be very important in coming up with these new ideas that we still need for the transformation of the Philippine economy. So the policies remain the same. The fiscal discipline will remain the same. However, we are, again, as I said, looking to see if there are any new ways to handle that. And I still had hoped for Secretary Ben Jokno to continue in that role, but I see that he has chosen now, as I said, to return to the BSP and the Monetary Board.
Sir, last question. May dapat bang asahan, sir, ang publiko na tax reform under the leadership of Secretary Recto sa Finance Department?
Well, I don't want to preempt the Secretary in making any of these announcements. Let's allow him to pumasok muna siya and let him have a look. I know that he's fully cognizant of all of the different issues that are prevalent in the Department of Finance. So let us allow him to make his analysis, and we will leave it to him to make those announcements when the time comes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Raquel Bayan, Radio Pilipinas.
Good afternoon, sir. To
Good afternoon.
President Marcos, sir, do you have a specific project or program in mind that you expect to achieve or implement faster and better with the Secretary Recto in the DOF?
It's you have been reading our mind. We actually sat down just a few days ago and made a list of priorities in terms of specific projects, in terms of the development of the proposals that were made during the trips that we made abroad. So yes, there are very specific. There's not just one. There are several. And in fact, I'm meeting with the economic team right after this to explain exactly what those are and how we intend to proceed. Those projects will be prioritized in the sense that I have asked Secretary Decco. I have said that these are the areas that we absolutely have to get done. so that we can continue on this path that we have been on for the last year and a half in the improvement and the transformation of the economy.
Thank you, sir. And
Mahaba-haba, it's not a small list either.
all right, sir. And then, sir, mananatili po ba yung food security bilang top agenda ng Marcos administration with Secretary Go, along with the handling of inflationary pressures po?
Well, they still any economy or any economic manager in any country is now really focusing on the problems that inflation has brought. We began when we started out was to say that we were worried about perhaps the debt to GDP ratio, and that we would have to grow the economy out of that debt. We have moved certainly in that direction, and that is why with the new global economy, we are now having to not rethink, but we have to redesign many of what we had normally had done, the policy that we had done before the pandemic. The pandemic is really the inflection point in the world economy, and that is why we needed to adjust. So yes, food supply remains critical. These are the lessons learned from the pandemic economy, that food supply must be guaranteed so that whatever happens, say, if they, God forbid, there be another pandemic or any such shock to the global economy, with the attendant problems that brought about by supply chain problems, by supply problems, that food supply must first be guaranteed within the country. So, and the large part also that the food commodities, agricultural commodities, plays in the inflation picture. The contribution of agri commodities to the total inflation rate is still significant, and that's why we have to assure our people that there will be a supply, and therefore we will be able to hold prices at the level that is affordable by everyone.
Thank you, sir. And sir, if I may, kay Senator Recto po. Kay Secretary Recto po. Sir, are we going to continue what Secretary Jokna started, or should we expect reforms under your leadership in the OF po?
Well, essentially, you have the National Development Plan to follow, and the chief architect of that is the President. You have the macro fiscal framework, and there is a plan, there is a roadmap that essentially we will continue. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Jinky Baticados of IBC 13.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good afternoon, everyone. This question is for Secretary Recto. Sir, following your appointment po as Finance Secretary, what is your first order of the day po?
Number one is to collect for next year, I think 4.3 trillion in taxes. 3 trillion with the BIR, 1 trillion with the BOC, and I think the Treasury is about 300 billion. So it's all about fiscal sustainability. And like I said, you have a national development plan to fund. Incidentally, we will be borrowing 2.7 trillion next year. So every night when I wake up in the morning, dapat ang nakolekta natin more or less 20 billion to fund all the needs of our people and the requirements of government. So, and to make sure that that money is spent wisely. The idea is to stretch every peso, including acting faster on investment. Particularly, the President has just signed the new PPP law. That will free up government resources for social services, investments also in creating more jobs for our country.
Sir, sorry, I have to ask this question, although the President told us that he doesn't want to preempt you. But, sir, do you plan to impose new taxes po under your watch?
There are already existing revenue measures that the House has passed, and the President has certified as urgent. We will make sure that the Senate will be able to pass the same.
Okay. Sir, lastly po, will you be implementing changes such as a reshuffle among the DOF officials?
I don't expect to. You know, when I entered DEDA, I only brought one person with me. And that was during the height of the global financial crisis. I think we came out unscathed at that time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, last question for Secretary Go, sir. Being the investment, sir, and the economic advisor, what steps are you taking to ensure that all investment pledges, sir, from the foreign trip of the President will come to reality? And how will you monitor po the benefits of all those investments?
Yeah, I think our goal to attract strategic investments into our country calls for, number one, improving the ease of doing business. Second would be reducing friction costs. And third, finding solutions to navigate the bureaucratic challenges that we face. And we have to make a strong case to the world why they should invest here in the Philippines.
All right. Thank you, Secretaries. Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice, salamat. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Secretary Go and Secretary Recto. And thank you very much, Mr. President. This concludes our press briefing. Maraming salamat, Malacañang Press Corps, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you all very much. Magandang hapon sa inyo. Thank you. Okay.